Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and I'm here working on my little paper bag 4th of July journal for Kara Brandon's design team for July. And yesterday I showed you how I had cut my paper bag and told you how I was going to cover it. So on the outside I covered everything with fabric. And on the inside, I used some wallpaper to cover the inside and this flap. I used a little bit of double fold bias tape here, just on this edge, so I didn't have the raw paper bag right there. And then, like I told you I was going to do, I folded these in so I could stitch around, then folded those in so I could stitch the top and bottom there. And so now I've got the bag here, the bag on this side. I did go ahead and add an eyelet there that I will put my closure in when I come to that. And since then I've got my pages done or ready to be decorated and stuff. I'm not going to be showing you everything that I'm doing on this journal until the flip through, but wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm going to work on today. And that is, I want a pocket here and here, and I want to use the same fabric that I used on the outside. So here I've got two 3x5 cards, and I had to cut them down to 4.5 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and put a thumb hole. I marked the center, that way I could get my thumb holes roughly centered. And then that will just become the backing for me to put my fabric on. It gives me something a little more sturdy, and that can go right on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run some Fabri-Tac. I'm going to sew around the edges of this, of course, but I want it glued so that my fabric doesn't shift on me when I go to sew. So I'm going to get that lined up like that. And then let me go ahead and put some glue on this one. And after I do this, I'm going to give the fabric just a couple of minutes to dry a little bit, and then I'll cut the excess fabric away and cut around my thumb holes. I did not, my 1-inch hole punch does not like cutting through fabric, so I thought by going ahead and putting my thumb holes in, then I can just easily trim the fabric away from it. All right. So, now where are my fabric scissors? Here they are. And I'm not going to worry about cutting all of my excess fabric away. I can do that after I sew around it. But I want to get rid of some of the excess. And actually, I think I'm not going to cut around that thumb hole until after I sew around it. And what I will do is when I sew around it, I will just have this side facing up so that I can see where I'm going to sew. And I know that means I'll have the underside of the stitching on top, but I think I'd rather do that than risk miscutting. So I will come back to those in a minute, but really what I wanted to play with a little bit is I've seen Dear Julie Julie do this a number of times, but I've never had erasers that I wanted to make charms out of. And I was shopping at one of our Walmart Supercenters, and I don't know if all Walmarts are getting these or not, but it had they were calling it a dollar shop, very similar to Target's Dollar Spot inside the store. And one of the things I was able to pick up were these 60 mini erasers that are, I don't know that I'll use that one, but red, white, and blue for 4th of July. So anyway, so I've seen Julie make charms out of erasers a number of times, and I've never really had any that I wanted to use or thought would go well with what I was doing. And this time I do. So I'm trying to grab some of my little jewelry tools. All right. So, put my fabric scissors back over here so I don't accidentally pick them up and use them for something paper. All right. So, I'm going to use this straight pin, and I'm just using a white pearl straight pin. And I'm going to feed it through the eraser. Now, I did one, and I had to feed it through a couple of times. Yeah, see, I've gotten it off again. Because I have a really hard time getting them straight in. I'm sure with practice it will become easier. But I don't know that this is something that I will do often enough to really become super proficient at it. And there, I got it. Ha! Okay. So I'm going to push that all the way through. And I've not tried it like with a head pin, but I don't know that a head pin, that the end of it would be sharp enough to really work well. So then you'll see I've got the eraser with a little bead looking thing there. Okay, so here's the part I don't like doing. I'm going to grab the pointed tip with my pliers because I'm getting ready to cut it off, and I don't want, I'd rather that tip not go flying. So I'm going to take these flush cutters and try, if I can, let's try holding it differently. Or not. All right. These flush cutters are big, but my other ones are getting really dull. There we go. Got it. And now I can just take that and actually throw it away. That way it doesn't end up in the floor and then in my foot. Okay, so now I'm going to use my round pliers and grab that pin and start rolling it. And again, I'm not going to be super proficient at this. It has been so long since I've done jewelry making that I've forgotten just about anything and everything that I ever knew. And it's not like I knew that much about it to begin with. All right. Now, unlike a head pin, using these pins, the metal does not want to bend as easily. So it takes a little more work. And of course it's trying to move around on me. This is where you get to see how my crafting actually goes. I wonder if I can grab that and hold it like that. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So I'm not going to have a real pretty loop on this, but I don't really think it'll matter once I get it. Okay. So it took some doing, and it's not a beautiful loop, but that is a cute little charm. So let's see if I can do another one and maybe make it go a little quicker. All right, so putting my pin in. And I'm gripping the front and the back of the eraser. Oh, I almost got that one. I think we're going to call that good. I hesitate to do it anymore. I grip the front and the back of the eraser because if my pen gets too wonky, then I can feel it. Then I know I've gotten that I've gotten non-straight and gotten too close to the edge. Okay. So let's cut this again. Okay. There's my little tip of my pen. And again, straight into the trash can so it doesn't end up in my foot. And I'm going to roll this again. Well, that went much more smoothly. I actually rolled it a little too much. And there we go. Let's see if I can pull that up a little bit. Putting my thumbnail under the head of the pen to hold it, to keep it from swiveling around. So there we go. 2 little charms. Boy, I still need to straighten that one up. All right, Marcy. Get it together. And now I've uncurled it all together. Okay, so let's pull it back. And then grab these again. Sorry, if I'm getting out of camera frame, I apologize. It helps me to be closer to. There we go. All right. That looks a little better anyway. So those are done. And I may make more, but I've been dying to try that. But like I said, I've never had anything that, or any little erasers that I thought would look cute or pretty with what I was doing. But I thought these were perfect, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I actually kind of like them. I was actually talking to my daughter earlier, and we were talking about these erasers, and I'm going to send her some of them because she loves Celestial stuff. And, you know, granted, these are red, white, and blue, but there's no reason you couldn't paint them and then do the exact same thing. So, little charms made. And starting on my pockets. So this video is probably already getting too long and too boring, but I had to show you guys that just because that was the first time I'd ever made those little charms. And I think they're super cute. And you'll probably see several of these actually in the journal. But so until next time, everyone, please be safe, stay healthy, have a wonderfully crafty day, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.